Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Beneath the Hat podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Nate Jackson.
And I'm Alina Rangel, and with us, as always, is Emilio.
What's going on, guys? And with us today, we got none other than Mr. JP Gonzales.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here.
The one and only Mr. JP
Oh,
Gonzales,
yeah.
Pearsall, Texas Cowboy.
What seasons were you on the Ultimate Cowboy deal?
I was on season 2 and season 4 of the All-Star season,
Yes, sir.
and they're pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll talk a bunch about it, but tell us a little bit about the beginning, kind of what led you to kind of pursue being a cowboy and just who's JP
Okay.
for those that didn't watch the show?
Well, my dad, he's a cowboy, and that's kind of where it started. And also with my great grandfather, he was a cowboy. He started the whole kind of family history for us, and I believe he had eight boys, and they all cowboyed. They all grew up on a ranch, and they all had to learn to cowboy. Once they got to town, they kind of like split up. Some of them were carpenters, some of them did other stuff, but mainly all stuck to cowboying. And my dad, he had strong roots that he knew he was going to be a cowboy. That's what he wanted to do. And when he had me, he just kept going on with that. He said that he'd try to leave me at the house when I was little, and he said that I'd probably had been at least 5. He said I'd be up waiting for him at the door, like, hey, I'm gonna go with you. And he'd be like, no, you're. He didn't want to really take me. He said, man, he's too little. He's gonna be in the way. And but I had some other family members that he'd take to use to work cows, and they'd all just work around me. They just, hey, you're gonna stay over there with JP and keep him out of the way,
Yeah.
and we're gonna work our cows. So he would do that for me. So it kind of helped me get to where I'm at today as far as the talents and stuff like that, and being around a lot of the older cowboys that I've been around in life, and those are kind of they've formed and mentored me into who I am today. I believe.
That's awesome. So you're doing a lot of horse training right now.
Yes, sir.
Was that some of that older wisdom? Did you get a lot of that horse training from them, or is that something you've had to kind of form your own?
So that horse training deal, it kind of started with my dad too. He'd buy horses, but he wouldn't buy anything papered. It'd always be sell-barn stuff, problem horses, or really kind of just green crazy horses. But he always made the horses, got through every single one of them, and we always ended up making a living with those horses because he worked for a ranch as well, and then on the side he trained horses. So that's kind of how I got started with it. And then you got people like Clinton Anderson and stuff like that. When I got into my teens, I really, really liked the way he just messed with the horse, and I bought all his videos. I was like, I was a fan. I was hooked.
Yeah.
I watched all his videos. My parents, they'd get so annoyed because they heard the voice on TV all day. But that's kind of what kind of started it, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try some of this stuff, and I started trying his techniques, and they work. They were easy. You can get a horse soft and responsive real quick. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And then seeing a lot of the cowboys that I was around work a horse, like when you see somebody work a horse that's nice and good and get around and slide on his butt, it's impressive, and it takes a lot to do it. So I grew a lot of respect for those people, and I've learned a lot today, like as far as like all that knowledge that they retained. Today I know that it took them years to get that knowledge, and it's been passed down and passed down and passed down. So that's why I say I think a lot of those older cowboys are my big mentors on who I am today.
I'm sure that's awesome. That's it's a lot of times they might tell you something, and it might be, you might have heard it 1,000 times, but it's something so small. But like you said, it took them years to make it that easy to simplify and tell and share.
There's a friend of mine that we're just working cows the other day. His name's Charles Zella, and we're talking about our knees because he was hurting real bad from his knees, and he saw me jumping fences and stuff. He's like, hey friend, hey. Said, it's all right. We're not in a big hurry. Just save your knees, friend. Save your knees. You don't need to be jumping fences like that.
Yeah.
But just really, and he's a really good cowboy and really good. So I take all that in. I said, man, he's trying to do me a favor. Most people would be like, man, he's he's getting after me. But no, I was like, he's trying to tell me something, save me.
Yes, sir. Well, heck, being, growing up around a bunch of horsemen and things like that, what are some things that you've kind of had to go through the growing pains as far as dealing with horses that you kind of know now that your younger self probably was blowing and going, and to where now you're like, well, now I have that wisdom? What are some of those stuff?
So when I first started, they have a saying that I've heard, and it says you'll mess up a lot of good horses before you make some good ones, and I've messed up so many good ones. I mean, they made a good horse towards the end. It's just I feel like I went about it so wrong because I didn't know, and I made it harder on them, way harder on them, way harder on myself. My joints today and my bones hurt from that.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of it was because I didn't know what I was doing. Today, I'm still learning, because it's something that you don't quit learning. You keep progressing and try to learn. And still today, if I see somebody that I like, I have no shyness to me. I'll go up to them and say, hey man, I would really like some advice from you on your horse. But I feel all that saves your body and saves your horse, and today I can make a better horse because of that. It's just it's helped me out a bunch.
Yeah, for sure.
It was the best decision I ever made when I decided to start training horses full time over just day working. I love working cows and day working with all my heart. It's something that I'll never let loose. If I get the chance, somebody calls me, I'll be there. I show up. But it was a family decision, and I was gone when I was day working. I was 6 days a week, and sometimes I'd be home, I don't know, at dark when my wife already had everybody put to sleep, and the food was cold and everything, and I was warming it up, and I was like, man, and it caused a little bit of issues. You're gone all the time, and what can you expect? You're gone. You're trying to make a living. So when I made that decision to train horses, it kind of just opened up so much time to be with the kids. I could get up and ride 10 horses, be done, and play with the kids in the evening. So it was perfect,
Yeah.
And when it's a lot harder on my body, I believe, because when I was day working, I would ride 3 horses, still ride colts, but I would only ride 3, and now I ride 10, and it's hard, but but it's fun.
Yeah.
You mentioned at the shop that some of your kids are taking an interest or kind of getting after it more, and you'd said that you'd taken on that from your family members as well. So are they getting into any play days or anything kind of fun, or wanting to go out with you when you work?
So I'm just now starting to take my boys to kind of go work with me, and it's fun. Like earlier, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I worked at the sale barn, and I worked for the Thick Pin family down there, and they're a very, very humble family, and they allow you to take your kids and stuff. And my boy asked my boss, he said, hey, do you mind if I go work for you during the summer? He said, come on. So this
awesome.
summer will be the first summer that he's going to go down there and work.
That's
so
awesome.
that'd be kind of cool. And I had bought some goats just this past Wednesday, so I could see them, roping more. We had one, and they were wearing it and thin. They were just there roping them and tying them, roping them. I said, man, I need 3 more, at least 3. And they had 3 goats pass through the ring. And I told Kelly, I said, hey, I need those goats. He said, what do you want goats for? I said, for the boys. He said, okay. And he bid on them. They had a deal of 3, and he bought them for them. And as soon as I got home, they wore them goats out. They were after them, But no, so they're coming along. It's just been a little bit slower process with them.
Well, and just like kind of how you grew up, being around those older guys, I'm sure as they kind of start going with you to go work in places like that, they're going to start to kind of have those same experiences, But one thing I wanted to ask you is kind of a fun question. Is there any colts or any horses growing up or in your past that left a memory mark, or something that was really, really hard you had to get through?
Honestly, watching those videos, they helped me out a lot. So I always approached things a lot smarter, so I didn't really get hurt too bad. But I had one mare, I guess it was about 2 years ago. There's a guy a younger guy that he worked for me when I first started. He worked for me 2 years. His name's Ernie Garcia, and he can ride a bronc like really, really good. Well, we had this mare that came in, and the guy didn't want her because she'd buck real bad. And I said, I'll take her. I'll trade him out some riding. I traded him that horse out, and I let her on the back burner because I had so many horses I was riding. And I finally got to riding her one day, and I rode her. She didn't do nothing. The second day, I approached her differently though. The first day I warmed her up. I took all the steps and stuff. And the second day I just threw my saddle. I said, shit, she didn't do nothing. I just get on her. I got on that mare and I made about half a circle and she blew up bucking hard. And she bucked me off hard. And, I felt bad because I hadn't been bucked off that hard, like, ever. It was pretty hard. And, time went by and I called Ernie. I didn't want to ride that mare. I said, man, I rode her still a little bit and I was still intimidated by her. And I called Ernie. I said, hey, you mind riding that horse for me? He said, no, bring her on. He took her and it bucked him off. And then it goes back to another buddy that was he tried her too because he was an older bronc rider that he could freaking ride. He was really good, and he got her too and bucked him off. And I called him back and I said, I don't feel too bad. It bucked off two sure enough good bronc riders, and it bucked me off and I rode it for at least 3 jumps.
There you go.
Pretty rank.
Yeah, pretty rank. She was stout. She was a big old 6-year-old mare. She had it. And now he ended up buying that mare for me now, and he has her going.
There you go.
Yeah.
You just got to stick with those hard ones, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Did you, I noticed y'all had that team roping last weekend. Did you go out there?
I did. They had a top hand competition, and it kind of bruised my pride a little bit. I didn't do as good as I wanted to, but it was fun. We had some of the guys, a lot of the guys from the King Ranch showed up there, like Mr. Robert Seguero. He was there, and he's an older man. He did good. And then little Rick Falcon. They've been down there, and he won it. He won it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
he did.
He won something in the team roping too, or just was it?
I didn't stay for the team roping, so I'm not sure. But and then who won second?
So tell me a little bit about that deal, because is it the second or third year they had it?
This is the first year.
First year they had it.
First year they had it, and they took 15 guys, and it was just they turned out 2 steers. Your time started when the flag dropped, and you had to pin one, and then you'd rope the other and load it by yourself. So it's just all by yourself, and it's kind of cool.
That's
it's
crazy.
really
it's like a ranch rodeo, but one guy. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and they put on it was a good event. I really enjoyed it, and it was tough because it reminded me kind of that show. That's the way it was. It wasn't on nobody else. It was on yourself. So it's kind of.
That's pretty neat.
It's good.
Heck, I saw it was a little bit of a reunion there. You had 2 of the buddies. Eddie Pena was there.
Eddie was there. Cuatro was there. Cuatro, he's the one that won second.
Oh,
he
wow.
did good.
Heck, yeah.
Yeah, he did good.
And that's, you grew up with Cuatro some or just around him?
So that's kind of how I got introduced to that show, was through Cuatro. We were working at the feed yard. We knew each other kind of because we're real close by through the town. I'm probably like 20 minutes from him. And we'd seen each other here and there and stuff like that. And where we became friends was at that feed yard.
Yeah.
I ran it. I didn't stay there the first time very long. They wanted me to run it, and I didn't like managing it at all. It was a lot of paperwork, and I wanted to be in the back with the Cowboys. Yeah. But I stayed there, and he's the one that kind of introduced me to that show. He saw an ad on Facebook, and he said, hey, man, look at this deal. He said, you should go. I said, that ain't real, dude. I said, there's a lot of fake stuff on Facebook and stuff. I said, that ain't real. And he said, well, I'm going to go if you don't. I said, okay, we'll go. He said, well, can I have off for a week? I said, yeah, you can have off for a week. So he said he was going to go, and it ended up turning into about 30 days that he was gone.
Wow. Dang. Well, heck, you mentioned at that Little Ranch Rodeo deal, there's some guys from the King there. And just talking to you before, you were mentioning how you kind of done some kind of horse work and stuff like that for those guys or that ranch. But just kind of touch on that, your experience with them.
So I've been riding horses for the King Ranch probably for now about 3 years. This year will be 3 years. And that has been pretty neat, to be a part of that ranch, because it's history, You got the Old Sorrel, Peppy, little Peppy, and you got Buster. Buster Welsh was out there. Yeah. So when you go to that ranch, though, because I don't have to. They would bring them to me, and I drop them off. I go show those, but I just want to go.
Oh yeah.
So, but it led to a lot of cool things. I've been doing that. The horse, they've been happy with the horses, so that's kind of been a big thing. And for me, I've been very happy that they've enjoyed all the horses that I've sent back. And Ernie, he was a part of it the first 2 years. He helped me out with it. and it's been a big thing. I got to meet over there at that ranch. They had a colt starting challenge, or no, it was a colt challenge after they've had the horse for I guess about a year and a half or something like that. And I got to go watch it. They invited me. Well, they had Chris Dawson out there
Yeah.
and his wife out there, and they were judging the whole deal. So it was really cool because Chris was really nice. He stopped, took the time to teach all the cowboys little hints and tricks there. He wasn't, most people, they won't take the time to do
Yeah.
that, and he
Yeah.
did. So it was kind of neat.
Now, do you know what horses? I guess the ones that you send, do they split them amongst the divisions, or is there a certain division you're riding for, or is that?
They
how does that?
they split
They
them.
split 'em?
Yes, sir. So once they, on average, it's about anywhere from 8 to 10 horses that they send,
Yeah.
and they'll split them amongst the cowboys. But that little challenge they do, it kind of aligns the cowboys on who gets to pick their horses first.
Oh, wow.
If they win first, second, third, fourth,
That's
fifth, and
pretty
so
neat.
on. So it was pretty cool to watch. And
Yeah.
then some of the horses that Ernie and I had from the first year, they were competing in that. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to see what they did with them after we've done with them.
Yeah.
And we got some good feedback from them too.
So to tie into these neat opportunities, have you found yourself working anywhere that you're like, oh, this at one point was something I wouldn't have even imagined?
Well, yeah, like just the doors that everything has opened up. Like we talked a little bit about the show earlier, and it kind of led to those opportunities, and it's kind of led to being here and stuff like that. So I just guess I'm just really happy to be able to have been there, and been able to experience everything. Like that saddle that's sitting there, it's from Elkhorn Saddlery. They put an ad on Facebook one day. They were looking for a brand ambassador, and I think I told you one
Yes,
time
sir,
I
yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
do that, And I said, I'm gonna try it. I don't know. I just sent them a reel, and that's what they were looking for. It was a reel, and see how many views you got. And then they were kind of looking for somebody who fit what they wanted to show their product. And Brian and Abby, they hit me up, and they're like, hey, we got your video, and we'd really like to send you a saddle, and just send us what you want, and we'll make it for you. We're trying to make a branch off of our 77 camp saddle, make an affordable saddle for cowboys that we're not cutting no shortcuts. We're gonna give them a well-built saddle, but we're trying to get them a good cost at the saddle. I
Right.
said, well, yeah, I'd like to be a part of that. And that's the saddle that we put together, the first
That's
one
awesome.
that we put together.
Man.
And
That's really neat.
that's my first. I've been working towards that too. Try to be a brand ambassador.
Yes.
That's why I try to tag everybody in what I do, and you just never know where it leads to. But
Yeah.
it led to that one, so it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then
Super
like
cool.
those leggings right there. I think I told you earlier. Like the Thick Pin family, they're all
Yeah.
talented. All of them are very talented. The oldest one, he braids really crazy. The youngest one, he's good just at everything he does. And the youngest Hudson, he built those leggings right there.
Yeah.
He made them, and he makes a bunch of pairs. And I think he's backed out like 2 years to make
Oh,
sense.
My
So
goodness.
he stays busy.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
Uh,
like you. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sounds like you have some secret talents as well that we were just talking about.
Yes, I play music a little bit. I'm not the best at it, but it comes from my father. My dad sang really, really good Tejano music, and that's where my background of music comes from my dad's side of the family.
That's really cool, man. I mean, music, leather. I mean, there's so many artists hidden amongst the cowboy community. I feel like a lot of it, for instance, like this leather deal or building saddles or whatever, it comes out of necessity at first, and then people get a feel, just like you training a horse. I mean, there's art in that too. It's like you get a feel for it, and there's not a measurement there. It's all on feel. You know the right amount of pressure. You know when to release.
Right.
It's really cool that.
Right.
Same thing. I mean, even leather. He knows how to work that leather and make those leggings just like, just as anything.
Well, that's just kind of when y'all drove up, I was talking to Brian about the saddles, and I said, yeah, they're kind of doing like what y'all are doing too as well. If you all kind of see it in the same perspective, y'all are trying to make a good hat that's gonna last. And didn't I tell you that hat that I bought from y'all? It's been a
Almost
while.
a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still. Yeah, you
I
took a
have
picture in it
them,
the other day. Yeah.
and I had them. Just now, these are the ones that I was wanting.
Yeah.
I did buy one other one, but it didn't last. It didn't last very long. So y'all are trying to put out a good product that lasts for cowboy, that's affordable.
Yes.
So that's what I feel like. Those are the kind of people that I like to be around too, because
Oh, yeah.
they're all, we're like a family,
Yeah.
whether we see each other or not. You
Yeah.
know, those are the kind of cowboys that I like to be around, at least. A lot of it, of course, you're gonna have those people that they don't believe in what you're doing. Like, I think sometimes I'm doing all this social media stuff because I do get a little bit of money from social media, but
Yeah.
you know, you have to stay consistent with it,
Yeah.
and you have to post stuff. And then sometimes I'll start doubting myself, and I'm like, man, dude, all these people are thinking I'm just so probably about myself, you know. But I'm trying to do something different. There's a bigger picture behind it, you know. I'm trying to make a little bit of extra income that a normal cowboy wouldn't have the platform to do it, and that show gave me the platform to kind of make a little bit of extra income with that social media. So why not take advantage of it?
Exactly. And we talked about this last year when you were at the store, and like you said, the right words, platform. Through the show, you've basically took your work and made it a brand, and now you can give the insight to the customer that doesn't get to see it every day. And same thing with whether it's the horse business or the lifestyle kind of business that we talked about, making caps and kind of marketing yourself, because people like what they see and people
Right.
like what you do, and
Right.
and if you don't post that video, well, they might never know. You know, it's
Right.
like what happens in Pearsall. You know,
Right.
it's like, well, I mean, from experience, we know JP's down there and the thick pins, and I mean they're getting to work. You know,
Right.
so
Yes, sir.
And the
why
neat
not highlight
thing
it?
is that your kids get to see it firsthand, but there's some kids that don't ever get to see horses in real life. So for them to maybe come across your video on an explore page or a For You page, that's neat to them, or that might spark an interest in some facet of the cowboy or ag community.
And that's one thing that you touched on that's very, very true that I try to do. You know, like just the other day we had a career day, you know, and they invite me to the career day, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't really want kids maybe not doing that because it's hard. But then I thought about it. I had a little boy ask me, he said, sir, because I told him, you know, I train horses, it's real hard on my body. And I said, and it's hot. I said, so really think about what y'all want to do when y'all get older. I said, because it's very important. He said, sir, well, why do you want to be a cowboy if it's so hard on your body? I said, because I love it and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
that's why I do it. So, you know, but for that kid to think that way I thought it was very, very good, you know, and it's good to have, like you said, if they can see it and if they have that option, they're like, man, that's cool. I want to chase that dream. Well, chase it, you know,
Yeah.
get there, do it. Don't sleep on it. That's one of my biggest things that I believe in is if you want to do something, you got to start. Like you're talking about the horse training facility, how I started. A lot of it, I didn't have horse stalls at my place. My place was my parents. I bought it from my parents. And back in high school, I was building horse stalls while other people were out partying and drinking beer. I had friends. Well, yeah, we drank beer, we drank and party, but we built stalls as we're
Yeah.
Drank while
you
they're
know.
building the stalls.
So we had
work to do.
We had work to do, and a lot of my friends, they helped me get those stalls done. Uncles, cousins, friends, everybody. My place, and it's not put. I mean, it looks to me it looks perfect, but if you really put a measuring tape here and there, so it's not square, you know. So, but it works really good. The whole setup works, and it's something that I've worked on for a long time. I'm very, very happy and blessed to have the people that I have come across me at the time to help me out with that stuff.
Yes, sir. Well, heck, I think it's really cool that, like you mentioned, young kid building the leggings, you know, an up and coming, or I guess established brand, wanting to reach the cowboy at the saddles.
Yes,
and
sir.
I just think it's really cool seeing this generation kind of start to want to do some more of that craftsman type work.
Right.
Whether it's, which I would consider, you know, training horse just as much an art as anything else, building leggings or whatever. And like Emilio said, it's a feel. And
It is.
and my experience with hats or just whatever, experience is the best teacher. And I think being able to see people kind of start young like you did with horses and your boys getting an interest, I think it's kind of looking on the up and up for, I guess, our industry, you know, going forward in the future.
It is. I definitely agree. You know, just having my family too. Like y'all see that picture of them too and stuff. And that's something that I take. I'm so happy that I get to spend the time that I get to spend with them now, and also like to be able to continue what my great grandfather started and keep going with it. You know, I look at that picture and you see a lot of pictures like that, you know, and you look at them and their old pictures and their horses are all high-headed and stuff. I look at my grandfather and I looked at him with respect because he has his horse with his head set right. It looks like a good horse, and I could tell that he had a good hand on it. You know, I didn't get to meet him. I didn't get to shake his hand. I didn't get to get any advice from him, but just by looking at that picture, I can tell that he knew how to use his hands.
Right.
You know, and
That's awesome.
that's kind of cool. I don't know. I think that's really neat.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Tell me about this legacy. So these boys, I mean, they all want it just as good, or is it mainly the oldest right now since he's been able kind of?
I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I kind of feel like they like it. Like my oldest, he's tying. Yeah. We bought him one of them calf tying dummies.
Oh yeah.
And he started tying. You know, that's what we started messing with him with that. They've been riding for a while. They've ridden on and off and on and off. But the middle one too. They're really fun to watch. I don't know how they're going to turn out, but it's cool to watch them. The little ones he can rope really good. The older one has to try like I've always had to. But the little one is just natural with his hand, just sticky. You know, the little one, you ask him, "Are you a cowboy?" "Yeah." "You want to ride a horse?" "No." You know. So.
And how old's the little one? Right
He's
now?
3.
3. Yeah, I mean it's just they're just shy of that age where they really want it. So.
No, and it's. You have your kids too.
Yeah, he'll be 4 on the 31st, and that was what he wants for his birthday. He said he wants a saddle, so there's no turning back now.
There you go.
If he asked for the saddle, I was like, you better use it. So
I have a question for JP, and Emilio, y'all being fathers, both having young kids, kind of coming up in that lifestyle. What is it like to kind of see the next generation firsthand with y'all's offspring and y'all's children kind of coming up and I guess showing some interest in something that y'all are both so passionate about?
Well, I'm very excited to see the future. You know, I'm trying to set it up. I'm trying to set a platform for them where they can take off. You know.
Yep.
I'm gonna use myself and gain as much knowledge as I can. So if they choose to do what I did, they're gonna be a lot better and successful than I am. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm excited because I want to see them. You know. And like with Father's Day coming up too, it's kind of good conversation to have and all that. But I'm excited to see him, and I think that's what's gonna be. I'm not ready to slow down yet. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not gonna just quit doing everything and just mainly just, I'd say it, focus on them, just make it about them. I'm not ready to slow down yet. I feel like I have still a lot of youth in me. I need to use it to retain everything that I can, so that when they get of age to learn, really put it to it, I can teach them to outdo me in every single way aspect, and that's all I could hope for. I'm sure that's just the way any dad would
100%.
feel.
And I love it when we get customers in all the time, and they're young couples and they've been married a while, and I'm like the typical parent, like, hey, when y'all having kids? And they're like, no, I don't know. I don't want to wait. I want to wait. And I'm like, they're like, oh, the world's all messed up. Well, the world's not going to get any better.
No.
You know, we can pray about it, and that's the best we can do. But why not bring some good in the world? And that's like, I mean, people ask me, are you having more kids? Probably, because it's like, we might as well make some good, because as bad as it is, I mean, let's bring some good, well-raised kids. And
that's exactly right.
And like you said, if they want it, well, we're going to try to give them the tools they need to do it, So if they don't want it, whatever they want to do, whether it's welding or whatever, give them the tools they need to get going, and kind of, instead of all this push on college, why not push them towards whatever business they want to pursue? So
I 100% agree with that. Like everybody's focused on college and stuff, and I think I kind of veered off because I tried to do the college deal, and it just was not for me. It wasn't where I had my heart. It wasn't where, and I was one of those people where if I had my heart in it, I was gonna be good at it.
Right.
But I didn't have heart for school. I was smart enough to do it. I just didn't like it, and I really took a liking to the Cowboys lifestyle, and I don't regret one single thing that I've done. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing what I do. It's a blessing to be part of this, and I feel like that's another deal too, is like being a godly man, being around what I am. you're around a good group of people in this industry of what we're allowed to be in. You know, it's not God put us all in the same place for a reason, I believe. You know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and like you said, I mean, a lot of them older guys we get a lot of wisdom from. I mean, they're God fearing guys, and they know. I mean, they're just good people.
Oh,
You know, they have good morals, and like I said, the cowboy community really hovers around that, and it's really odd to see somebody that's not like when you got whatever. I mean, you don't. I feel like there's bad people everywhere, right? But
Right.
it's rare, and they stick out like a sore thumb in
Right.
the cowboy community.
Right. And you'll see it. I mean, you'll see a lot of different people, but it's just like you say, you got to be the good. And the only way
Yeah.
to get good is make more good. You know,
Yeah.
you see a good couple, encourage them. Hey, you ought to have kids. You're
Yeah,
good people.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Bring in
But
some more good.
you know, it's kind of like what I was telling you. I want to set a good platform for them. Like, I'm not done. I kind of want to be better at everything that I do. You know, and I always aim to be the best. I know I won't. You probably won't ever get there, but you know. But it's always good to aim to be the best. You know, that's kind of my deal. Is I aim to be the best. I don't ever know it all, but I'm gonna try my heart out to be the best that I can be, and that's kind of my motto that I go by, and I live by and stand by it.
Heck yeah.
What's that saying? It says, "I'd rather you aim high and miss than aim low and hit." You know, so
That's exactly right.
shoot for the sky.
Our buddy Click says the world will be great when people plant trees whose shade they might not sit under. So it kind of sounds like that's what you do with your kids.
Right.
Like, you want to make sure that they do. I mean, they have all the skill set, which is really neat.
Yes, that's exactly what I try to do. You know, and if they don't want to be a cowboy, maybe they could do what my wife does. You know, she's they own a family funeral home and stuff like that. I think I mean I'm not against nothing. I just want them to be successful. That's
Yeah.
all. That's
Exactly
all.
right.
That's all a father could want for their kids. And maybe that might not even be their dream, just like you're saying. Whatever dream they want.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, well, it hurt a little bit maybe, but you know, whatever they decide to do is I mean, like with, I came from a construction family, and I know that option's there, but Dad kind of gave me the opportunity. He says, lay out a business plan, and if you think it works, I'm behind you 100%. And I mean, it felt good. It's like, what wouldn't a kid want to, I mean, hear, you know?
Well, I believe y'all have done an amazing job. You've done an amazing
Thank you
job
so
too.
much.
It's so awesome to see what y'all have done, and y'all have reached so many people. You can tell. I mean, I've watched you on social media, and I remember the first time when I was on the show, I messaged a bunch of people. Nobody responded. You're the only one that responded to me about maybe advertising for you or
Yeah, heck
something
yeah.
like that. I did message people though, and Emilio was the only one that returned
Wow.
my message at everybody. And I tried Wrangler, I tried Resistol, and no, I mean, I love their stuff, but it means a lot whenever when you do something like that.
Well, I mean, just watching the show, we're fans of the show because it was, I mean, of course, it's got its kind of cheesy scripts to it and whatever, but it was cool because it's highlighting the world that, I mean, the people we enjoy and like
Right.
selling hats to, and right away, I mean, you got this humble guy from South Texas, and he's clearly, I mean, you were obviously, I'm talking about you. It's like we knew you were gonna get to the finale, if
Well, I
not
appreciate
if
it.
not win the sucker, you know. So if it was the ultimate working cowboy, you would have won both times,
Well,
right?
I
So,
appreciate it, man. That means a lot because it was an experience for sure. It's like we're talking earlier a little bit, you know. The people you got to meet, I think that's what I'll remember till the day I die. The people that I met. Jackson will always have a special place in my heart. That guy was something else. He was a good guy. He was a good man. When you meet people like that, Fatty Hickman, humble, good man, dude. You know, those people are so good. You know, they're just, you'll never forget them. I think of Fatty and I think of a good time. I think of Jackson, think of a good time. You know, there was a bunch of them. I know a bunch of them would call me probably tomorrow and say, hey, man, you didn't even mention me. You know, but they were all a good time, you know. And a lot of people gave Sarah, they made her look really, really bad. That girl was really nice. She took care of people. She fed people. She made sure everybody ate. She didn't care if you y'all got into it the day before, you're still gonna eat. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's kind of cool to see that they were like that. You know.
Yeah.
No, yeah, sure. I mean, I even enjoyed the characters they portrayed as the bad guy. I don't know, they're fun to watch and
Like poor Jen too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Y'all remember Jen from the
Yeah.
first
Oh, yeah.
season 2? Yeah.
How did those relationships, I mean, you've touched on the impact of being on the show and everything, kind of result to where you are now, but just the people that you're on the show with. I mean, we talked to Aura, and he just could remember a story before the show with Jackson, you know, and like you mentioned, Fatty and everybody. And what are some, you know, of those connections that, you know, that mean so much to you, and have they helped you still post-show?
Yeah, like I talked to Cole Weidman, you know, and Eddie Pena quite a bit. Cole, I mean, we just talk, you know, just like friends. We don't get to see each other. I'm sure one day if we got to really hang out, it'd be cool. And I actually threw an idea now. This kind of going off subject a little bit from where you're at, but I was talking to him. I said, hey, man, I kind of want to do a YouTube channel. And I've kind of told a few people about it. And I said, I want to day work for a little bit. I need to find the time, but it's a really cool idea. I want to day work with different people and show people different styles of day work. And I said, would you let me go and day work with you for a little bit? He said, yeah. I talked to Steven Yellowtail about it. I said, would you let me do it? He said, yeah. I just started with people that I knew that were from the show that already have an audience and stuff like that. But so I think something like that would really take off.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I talk about with guys like that, you know, like Cole. Eddie Pena has become a real close friend. Like just talking with him, you know, I could talk to him about serious stuff. I'm stressed or mad, you know. So he's that guy that I can call, you know, and he's not negative. He's always positive and, you know, stuff like that. Cuatro too. Cuatro's a good buddy, and he's good to talk to. So a lot of those guys, they become friends that you can talk to, vent to, talk about serious stuff, and they're not going to be silly or goofy. Jackson was goofy, but he could be serious too, you know.
Yeah.
I had voicemails from him a long time ago, and I wish I still had those phones, but I go through phones like crazy. But man, he'd call me and leave me some funny, crazy messages, and I missed that, you know. It was pretty cool, and I wish I had that. I'll never forget being on the show with him. You know, he'd sing randomly off out of the blue. And
is that video where you're singing? The Rio Bravo, that song. My rifle, my pony, and me.
My rifle, my pony, and me. Yeah, that's a song.
That's a good one, man.
And then he'd make up this poem. He's all, if you want to be a cowboy, and he'd just go off saying all this stuff, you know. And he's just a man, dude. He was fun. He was a good time. He lit up the room when you were there, and he made everything fun. You could be in a bad mood, and watching the show, honestly, when I watched the show, and then after everything that happened, I cried for that man. You know? I was like, man, dude, because he was like, I remember him saying, you got to watch John Paul. Don't think he's nobody, you know. And it kind of like he I don't know. You could just tell he came a long ways from the first season that I met him to there. He was a whole different person.
Yeah.
It was neat.
Eddie, speaking of Eddie, he came in the store. I mean, it was either right before you came in for the first time or right after. And he showed up without a beard because, I mean, we're so used to seeing him with his beard on TV. And I looked at him and I said, man, do I know you? He's like, no. He's like, no, I've seen you before. You were on TV, weren't you? He goes, no, you got me mistaken. I said, you're lying, man. You're Eddie Pena. And he goes, yeah, that's me.
You know, that's really weird, though, down like where we are at. We don't get recognized a whole much for the show, but you go up a little bit further, you know, north, and you right off the bat, hey, you're on that show, right? I said, yeah, I was on that. And I'll talk to whoever, you know, it don't matter, but it's pretty cool to see the different. Actually, I went further south, and they really knew who you were down there. I don't know for what reason, but a little further south from Pearsall, they knew. Yeah. And but my hometown, honestly, was very, very, very.
Yeah, I was about
supportive.
to ask you. Let's talk a little bit about that because I know in the show they really talked about.
So they really harped on it on that second season about it, and I went back because I wanted to win and prove that I could, but I wanted to win for the town too because that's something that I felt bad that, you know, I didn't win. And then the second season, we were holding these watch parties, and they got bigger and bigger and
Oh, my
bigger.
goodness.
It was crazy, man. We had a bunch of people. I had a band come and play for the people, and it was a good time. It was stressful because I had the band come. We set up this trailer, and the guy, he come up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, we're getting shocked." And I said, "Gosh, dude, I was freaking out trying to get him. Where they weren't getting shocked anymore, but one of their wires had a nick in it, and it was catching them on stage. So I was
My
like running
goodness.
around trying to talk to everybody, trying to keep the band cool and everything.
Yeah.
But it was a good time. And when everybody found out that I lost, there was a cousin of mine. He called me and said, "Hey, the city wants to do something for you." I was thinking, just like a party or whatever, and another party after that. And then he said, "No, they want to do something for you, but I'll get back with you later." And he come back, he said, "Hey, man, we got a paper right here. All these people, they want to get together, and we're going to make sure you get 50 cows."
Wow.
Well, they didn't get the 50 cows, but they got pretty close to it,
My goodness.
And it was all people from the town.
Yeah.
Some people from out of town that a lot of people that I didn't know.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know. And then I didn't know how to take it, too. That caused arguments on the show too a little bit, because I didn't know how to take it, And then whenever we came back to the show, they had people kind of trying to be ugly to me and say, "Hey, why would you take that?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't know either or it'd be bad, Say, hey,
Yeah.
no, refuse, tell you no, I'm too good to take what you're trying to do,
Right.
or just accept it." So I was kind of contemplating about it, and I just thought about it, and I talked to my wife and talked to some friends. I said, "Man, dude, you deserve it, so just take it." So I took it, and then I felt like I owed the town something, so that's why I went back, because I did not want to go through what I went through. It was fun, the people were fun, but the cast, it's a whole different story over there, man. It was tough, but I'm glad I went back, because that was the last time I got to really hang out with those people again, and it was cool to see some of those people again. We had some good times, and you can't take that back. You get one chance at it to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's neat to hear the try in everything you do, like how you mentioned with the horses, the saying that there is, and then just the show. I feel like a lot of the times people try something new and anticipate it's going to be really good off the bat, and that's not always the case. And how we mentioned with hats or even social media, like sometimes the first stuff that we posted on Double R or that he let me post, I look back and I'm like, geez, this is kind of bad. But like, it's never going to be great off the bat, but it takes a while to like kind of get good at something or really hound down on your niche.
I agree 100%. And I feel like the try, I've always had it. Like I don't like to not give my best at something. That's like those horses too, those King Ranch horses. I worked with dang, what's his name? Well, he's the head guy at the horse division, and he said, "Hey, you need to quit stressing out about these horses. You're gonna do good." Because it was my first year that I didn't have help. I was like, "Man, dude," I said, "I don't know." I said, "It's a lot."
Yeah.
Because they came, a little bit more greener than I wanted and stuff, and I was like, "Man, it's a lot." But he said, "You're gonna do fine. You done fine." So I put that pressure all the time on myself. I don't try to take it light, because I feel like once you start being content, you just gonna not be as good.
You're gonna try there.
No, there's no trying. You're not gonna be as sharp.
With just coasting on.
You gotta be like, y'all are keeping us sharp. Keep the Cowboys
Oh,
looking
man.
good.
Heck, you even said, I want to always learn. So that's
Right.
another part of it. Like, I guess to
100%.
have the try, you want
Right.
to have to learn something new.
Yes, that's exactly kind of something that I really like to do, is always try to learn from people, whether it be their persona or something they know, their talent. I don't know. I wish I could play more music. Honestly, I really like the music. It's just it's a different avenue.
Yeah.
I tried it for a while.
You written a lot of songs?
No, I only have about 6 songs that I wrote.
That's an EP, man. Let's
That's
put it
an
out.
EP. Right? Yeah.
Do you ever read some of them back and you're like, man, maybe I should have rewrote this? or-
Yes, a lot, all of them. I have one called Sancho.
There you go.
And they're more, I don't know. There's a few of them that I thought could have been something with some, like a co-writer or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
But I don't know. It's just riding is hard.
Put them out on the YouTube channel.
Right?
Yeah.
No, that's what. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, we need to show you the little camera we have. I've given it to Emilio so he could just ride horseback, and it stabilizes everything. You can mic up the people you work with, so
That's pretty
maybe
neat.
it'd be neat for the songs and those videos working with people.
I think it would be. I think that'd be neat.
So on your saddle, I see you pack a pistol, man. Tell me a little bit about this. Let's get a little western down there.
So the pistol's kind of multi-use. I use it for my dogs to
Yeah.
get them out if they're really, really bad and I don't have my collars on them.
Yeah.
Or if we get some bulls that are real mopped up in a brush and won't get out, because sometimes those bulls will kind of just get in that brush and just stay there. And then some of them are pretty mean, and when you get in that brush, you know, they're just waiting for you. It's so thick, they're just waiting for you to get close enough so they can hit you. So we use that rat shot and shoot them on their butt and get them out, you know. So that's kind of why I carry that. And sometimes snakes when you're out there and stuff like that. But
for the record, it's rat shot.
it's rat,
He's
it's
not
rat
shooting
shot.
44
Everybody
slugs
relax.
and these dogs.
Yeah, it's rat shot.
PETA was about to be going crazy.
Well, what are some like I guess like fun stories chasing bulls or cattle and stuff down in the brush?
You know, I've roped quite a few cattle, but a lot of the times that I went, I just wish we had stuff like we have now, like the recording to take the time, you know. There was a time that I had this horse that I really liked, and I roped a lot of bulls off him. I caught him flop. He was a big old stout, kind of like blackish, I don't know, roan horse. He's more black than roan, but had his ears would flop out to the side, you know. And I went with Kelly and another friend of mine. His name's Jody Shearhart, and we went to go catch a bull, and they flew him out, and in some brush, and he was in the brush. They flew him out into a little sendero, and he said, "Don't rope him, JP. Don't rope him yet. Wait." But we've been messing around there for a while, and I was like, "Get ready!" Like it was about to get hot. So I let that horse go, and I just had total confidence in him that he was gonna rope and stop him, and he did. But he kind of got tired and he laid down, and I got all freaking tangled up in cactus and stuff. And the funny part is that my kids, whenever I got home, they wanted it to repeat again. They wanted to be pulling cactus out of me. Yeah, they're happy about that. But I haven't really gotten to a whole bunch of bad wrecks roping cattle. I try to stay pretty on my toes about it. Yeah, I got it. We've done a lot of good catch jobs though. Down there, there's some good catch jobs.
Is it a lot of the times y'all have to call in a pilot to kind of help push some stuff to the corners, or how does it work with all that brush?
Well, it just kind of depends where we're at. Like on one catch job, I remember they had a guy that kind of had a bunch of cattle and he just didn't take care of them. So they were in like 4 different ranches, and it was all barbed wire fences. So what we did first was we got the helicopter out there, and he pinned as much as he could, and then we hauled them out, and then the remainder of the cattle he'd fly spot some out and he'd blow them out and we'd rope them. So that paid probably the best. I remember back then that was the best paying catch job we went and paid $1,000 a day, and we were there for a week.
Heck yeah. Cleaning out everything.
Just cleaning out. So it was fun. And that was with the cell barn. So being with that cell barn, we had a bunch of opportunities and stuff like that.
In Pearsall?
In Pearsall. Around that area, I mean, I've traveled like 3 to 4 hours away, but I mainly always stay close to town. And that's kind of just been my little deal. I'm not a real big person to go out a whole bunch. I mean, I will, but I'm content being around that area.
Yeah, mastered the country out there and all the brush and nooks and crannies out around there.
Except the YouTube channel.
That's the one that I want to do. I think that'd be cool.
See a lot of different countries.
I would love that. That's kind of something that I think it would really take off. I think it'd be cool. I think Del Brisby kind of touched on it a little bit.
Sir.
He was there, but he's kind of still wants to be funny, and I like the funny part. But it's just. I think it'd be cool if he'd stick with that. What he was doing, it was so cool. I watched all of that, and I was like, man, he's doing some good stuff.
Yeah, he does some really cool stuff. I love the Cow Puncher podcast he has, and just them guys talking. It's just like, I mean, I just listen to them, and I can just visually see all the scenes they describe, and just it's a lot of wisdom there.
Well, and that's I had seen when y'all sent me to think about some heroes and stuff like that. There's some guys like Dell, like he does quite a bit of stuff, but it's not like a bunch of guys, not just one guy in particular. I'd say like even Al Dunning, like I really love his horsemanship.
Did you get to talk to him a lot when you were down there? Or
No, that was Chris Dawson.
Okay,
I talked to him.
That's right.
I talked to him quite a bit. He was really, really nice and easy to talk to. Answer anything you wanted. He needed to go to a show. I think where his wife was, so they were kind of in a hurry. But it was nice to meet him. And then you got guys like Buster Welsh, that. Even Buster Ferguson, he's doing a lot of cool stuff.
And we talked about marketing and branding yourself, and I mean that's one of the guys that's done it the best. I mean, at least started doing that, and really.
I think he's doing a good job.
Yeah, taking an everyday person and marketing it to the public.
That's exactly right.
People love it.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah, for sure.
So being around these horses, I had this question. You see a lot of great qualities in one, and get to ride a lot of good ones, and get to maybe turn away some of the bad ones. Describe your perfect horse, like in your mind, like what is this horse? What is he built like? What is he?
My perfect size horse is probably about, I don't know, right in between. I don't know. I'd say I like a short horse, so probably 14 something.
Yeah.
Not too big, but really stout, really wide, and I want them to be able to have the go that you need, but also be really light in the face and the mouth. And I like a lot of softness as I want, and a lot of cow to them. But I feel like on most of the horses that I've ridden, the ones that I really like and I'm really drawn to, they have a lot of natural cow to them, a lot of natural cow ability to them, and that's what I'm really drawn to. I think that if I could have gone into a different avenue, if I was in a different area, I'd be messing with cutting horses, because I love that about a horse, is to watch a cow more than anything. It's so cool when you can set your hands down and just watch the horse work
Instinctively.
Yes, and then with your legs too, And that horse Boone that I had, he's about where he's kind of, I need to retire him for myself, or I don't ride him. My boys ride him, they use him, but he's one too that, man, I could sort cattle on him, and I enjoyed sorting cattle on him. He was really, really nice too. And if we sort a lot of Bremer cattle down there, so when they want to get by you, they're usually pretty committed, So when you have a horse that's that committed to help you block one, it makes you feel good.
Yes, sir.
My uncle, we work a bunch together. His name's Joe Gonzales, and he's seen a Bremer cow damn near jump over my horse's neck.
Oh my goodness.
So it's kind of cool, to have those stories and stuff like that. He's also seen me in the feed yard too. We'd get those colts and they'd start watching cows real good and working, and it's real muddy, real boggy down over there. And you start getting them just where they're starting to work cows good. Well, one time he saw me too. There was a cow that cut real bad, and that horse went with it, and we're in mud, and we fell both on the side. Well, when I got up, I was all full of cow crap and mud all over my leg. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But, we got to work quite a bit together too.
Do you have to keep all your horses shod? I mean, having them 10 horses, at least your colts, do you keep them barefoot or how
for training mainly there? If I start taking them to sale barn, because I work the sale barn on Wednesdays, I go help them out. If I'm there, whatever set I take, I try to keep shoes on them, because I have a little bit of rocks there, and they'll get sore on me. But at the house, I just keep them trimmed up.
Yep.
And that's about it. But just keep them maintained.
Yes, sir.
What's some of your favorite things about where you come from as far as that Pearsall, South Texas area?
I think some of the cowboys are really, really handy. I think there's some tough people to beat, and I'm really humble enough to say there's some really good cowboys down there that they're not heard of or nothing. They're just really good with the rope and really good with a horse, and I'm proud to be from that area. It's tough. It's just like that season 2 on that deal. I feel like that was the toughest season on the whole show, was season 2, and that's why I was proud to be a part of it. the last season I didn't feel like it was that tough, but that's why I like being apart from where I'm at. It's because there's tough people, and I like being amongst the best where they make your life hard and not easy.
You want to do what do you call those questions?
Rapid fire.
I
Rapid
was
fire.
fixing to ask any other good questions before we get
Well,
to rapid fire.
After we, I just wanted to say that if you don't know, Pearsall, Texas is home of the world's largest peanut.
World's largest peanut. I
But-
still haven't seen it. I don't know
but-
if it's real or not.
It's right outside the.
It's in front of the HEB.
Yeah.
But JP told me it's not necessarily the largest peanut. It's just one of the biggest producers of peanuts. in the state.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
It's pretty neat.
There's got to have been at least one just humongous peanut. They had to
Well,
get
it
the idea
says
from
it's like
somewhere.
it's like ridiculous. It's like thousands of pounds
It's a
on the
big-
little sign.
golly.
So,
Yeah.
you
It's
know.
a big peanut. It's probably about the size of this desk.
All right, Alina, we're ready.
The intro song to your YouTube channel. If you have to pick one song that plays every time, what's it gonna be? What describes you?
It would be, I don't know why, but I'm thinking Hey Black Betty.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good
yeah.
one.
Heck yeah.
Get you fired up.
Favorite movie?
I like Young Guns
Heck yeah.
It's a
One
good
or two?
too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's one of the only
Yeah.
movies that I feel like the second one is better than the first.
Right.
So good.
Never does the sequel
I
top
don't know
the
why.
first.
I don't know why, but
Go ahead.
You like staying up late or getting up early?
Both. I'm just
I-
kidding.
I'd say- I'd say I'd rather stay up late. I like staying up late.
Night owl.
If you were a superhero, what would be your superpower?
It'd be to be the I was in a cuss. I'm sorry. Be a really good horse trainer.
This is actually, I think, the only time we've had a cowboy on where we probably won't have to put the little E next
Right.
to the episode.
I don't know.
This is harder for us.
Yeah.
I
than
know
the
it's like
actual-
we didn't have a list of
Your
questions.
horse question was really
The
good.
horses are good. I used them up.
You used them
Yeah.
up. I know.
What's the
Well-
favorite dish that your wife cooks?
Boom. That'll give you some brownie
good
points.
Yeah, it's gonna give me some points. She makes this chicken with cream cheese and bacon. It's really, really good. I like it a lot.
Wow.
How long have y'all been married?
Uh-oh, you're gonna get me in trouble now. We've been married 8 years.
How did y'all
That's
meet?
awesome.
Actually, we met. That's really, really weird because we grew up in the same town, went through
Yeah.
high school. We never did talk to each other,
Wow.
and we just through social media.
Wow.
There you go.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works.
If I've asked this a few times, but it's just always a fun question. If you're branding tomorrow, who are you calling?
Kobe Magno.
We Magnum. Who else? Quattro.
Yeah. Well, my dad. I would take my dad,
Your
Kobe,
dad.
and my uncle Joe. That's my crew.
That's your
That's
your
those
crew
the
right
guys
there.
I take.
Heck yeah.
Sweet.
Heck yeah.
So when he pulls up in the whip, that's who's with him all the time.
Sorry about it, Eddie.
Yeah, sorry.
Cody.
They already know. They're like
They're on standby.
They're on. I take them with me, but Kobe, if you ever get to meet him, he's a really good man. He's very, very. He's older than I am. He's not very much older, but he's real straightforward. Like he's one you joke around when you're working, and talks about the movies. We'll be working cows and we'll be throwing lines from the movies at each other,
Yes, sir.
and he'll say something like we'll be working and he'll say I'm in my prime. And I say yeah, you look it.
Yeah, you look. Tombstone.
Yeah. So we just throw stuff at each other, and he's a dang good worker, and that's the kind of cowboys I like to be around. That
Heck
are
yeah.
that sharp. He's really sharp.
Yes, sir.
End it off with life advice.
My life advice would be to not ever have any don't have any limits, Don't limit yourself. Keep striving to be the best you can be. Don't quit. So, I would say strive to be the best you and work on yourself. That's the best advice I can give. If it's the hardest thing is to work on yourself every day to make a better person.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome.
Good.
Love it. Well,
That's
where
giving me
can
chills.
where can everybody keep up with you?
Everybody can keep up with me on my Facebook page. I have a lot more followers on there. Instagram, I have Instagram, And I have the title to my YouTube deal, and it's linked on my Facebook. It's called John Paul Gonzales Cowboy Adventures.
I
Heck
like
yeah.
that.
That deal, we did a deal with some Koreans, a show. That's how it kind of come about, and
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Eddie was telling me about that he was trying to get him to come to the hat shop.
Yeah. They needed to.
Season 2 or
Season
episode,
two,
or
yeah,
next time.
we'll
around.
bring them back. They were fun. They would sing some songs, American songs like "Do You Remember?" They were just singing it real funny, man. They'd sing
Oh,
it.
that's so funny.
They would sing it.
That's
Um,
awesome.
But it was funny watching them. That was an experience in itself. That's a whole nother story. But it was a good, really, really good time. Those were good people, and I'm glad I was a part of that too. That was really fun.
Any more
Okay.
Hollywood adventures?
I'm hoping. I really am. I'm hoping that if I could start that YouTube deal,
Yeah.
it'll start to something. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I want to kind of try to keep track of everything that I do. And I always say that as far as like what I'm saying is like the horses, because I ride 10 horses a month pretty much, sometimes 13, and I have them for 3-month minimum. So it's kind of been one of those deals where I have so many horses go through there, and I should take a picture and a video of everything that I do with every single one of them. So when I look back, you have that, but I haven't done it.
What's the horse someone needs to send you? Like, we're talking about this deal. Someone's listening right now. Describe the horse that you'd want in your camp. Yeah.
So I just want to honestly, what I like training for, and it's not necessarily just the horse, but I love training for cowboys that are going to go on with a horse. And I know that's not where your main money is, but that's who I enjoy training for. Is for the ranch cowboy that's going to take on a horse, and later on you'll see that horse and he'll be doing some cool stuff with it. So that's kind of what I really like doing. But I would love to train some sorting horses, or even break start horses for professional horse trainers,
Yeah,
cutters
yeah.
or reiners and stuff like that. Because I don't know why, but I enjoy the colt starting. I enjoy it that
Right.
much. And they said, no, you need to move on from there. But I really enjoy that part of it. It's not that hard. People say, oh, it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's not that hard. It's what you make it. But
Yeah.
I have I wouldn't say I had a lot of patience. I developed a lot of patience for that. And that's my favorite part of the whole deal, because it's the most important part is a starting. Is
Yeah.
a start. So I'd say I would like to train for professionals, be under them, and then maybe hopefully one day be a professional. But
Heck yeah.
that's kind of what I'm striving for.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Thank you so much for sitting down and making the trip from South Texas to come hang out with us for today, man. We really appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem. I really enjoyed it. It was a good time.
Where can we find us, Lena?
You can find us on Beneath the Hat on Facebook or Instagram, as well as now YouTube. Where can we find a hat like the one JP's got?
I don't know, JP. Where can we find it?
Oh, we can find them at Double R Hat House right
Hey,
here.
Come on, Elgin, Texas.
Sweet.
Thank y'all.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in the
Yes,
next
sir.
one.